Hello, good evening Tribuners. Welcome back with me Mutiara in Indonesian news of Tribun Lampung. We will present you on updating and interesting information from every place in Indonesia. And here the complete news. The first news comes from Bangka Belitung. Cooking oil is scarce, business actors are threatened with bankruptcy. Dozens of micro, small, and medium enterprises in the capital of the Bangka Belitung Island Province visited the Office of Trade Cooperatives and Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprises in Pangkalpinang City on Wednesday, March 16, 2022 in the morning. They come to complain about the scarcity of cooking oil in Pangkalpinang in the last few weeks. Lena, a businesswoman in Pangkalpinang, said that the scarcity of cooking oil had been going on for the past week. Even her party had difficulty getting cooking oil according to the highest retail price determined by the government. As a result, a number of business actors have stopped producing their businesses. Lena said, during this week's shortage of cooking oil, her party suffered losses of up to 10 million rupiah. In fact, to produce ampiang in a day, she needs about a jerry can of 20 liters of cooking oil. Meanwhile, currently, to get 1 liter of cooking oil, people have to be willing to queue for hours. This also affects the productivity of business actors. Apart from that, she continued, it is also difficult for her to buy cooking oil at modern retail. This is what made Lena and a number of other business actors meet with the office. Therefore, business actors urged the agency to provide solutions to fulfill the need for cooking oil so that their business does not stagnate. Even so, Lena welcomes the solution provided by the Pangkalpinang City government, where they are certain to get bulk cooking oil to fulfill their business on Saturday. The next news is, police officers in Riau become a 5-kilogram drug dealer syndicate. The head of the Riau Regional Police, Police Inspector General Mohammad Iqbal, seemed furious when he learned that a member of the police in his ranks was carrying 5 kilograms of methamphetamine. He also emphasized that strict action would be taken against the person concerned even up to dismissal. Inspector General Iqbal revealed all must work together to carry out the task of eradicating drugs. He said the Riau Regional Police would not be able to work alone without the support of other relevant agencies and the entire community. He explained that the main gateway for drug trafficking into Riau so far is Bengkalis Regency, although there are some from other regencies. The head of the Riau Regional Police explained that he did not hesitate to fire unscrupulous members of the police who tried to get involved in syndicates that trafficked illicit goods. According to the former head of the Public Relations Division of the Indonesian National Police, it is better to fire 1 to 4 individual members rather than destroying the reputation of a proud institution, namely the Indonesian National Police. Because Inspector General Iqbal mentioned that if the Indonesian police institution has been polluted by the action of individuals, how is it possible for the Bayangkara Corps to gain the trust of the public? The police officer with the initial YR, aged 38 years old, whose information is that he holds the rank of second police inspector and service in the Rohil Resort Police, was also presented in a case exposure at the Riau Regional Police headquarters. He explained that his party will quickly carry out the due process of law, fair legal process until the court's verdict. The next news comes from Medan. Police arrested 2 housewives for distributing narcotics. Police personnel from the North Sumatra area, the Medan City Resort Police, and the West Medan Sector Police carried out a raid on a drug village on the edge of the Putri Hijau Rail Street, West Medan District on Wednesday, March 16, 2022. The result arrested 2 people suspected of being drug dealers. From the suspect, they managed to secure the methamphetamine weighing 2.5 grams. Meanwhile, suspect F was secured with a weight of 1.5 grams. In addition, they also secured another 14 grams of crystal methamphetamine. The 2 suspects admitted that they have been selling drugs for 2 years. In addition, both of them do not have a job and only work as a housewives. The result of this investigation, one package can be worth 1 million rupiah. In addition to carrying out raids on drug villages, his party also carried out activities to crack down on gambling around the location. There were 2 visiting gambling machines that were secured. In addition, the players and guards of the fish shooting gambling are currently being investigated. In the future, such activities will often be carried out by his party, so that drug trafficking is no longer rampant. The next news is 22 students from Cirebon were arrested for allegedly getting into a brawl. Police officer from the Kuningan Resort Police arrested 22 vocational high school students from Cirebon Regency. The students are suspected of having a brawl in Cirebon on Wednesday, March 16, 2022. The arrests were made by officers in the East Ring Road area and a vocational high school in Japara District. This was stated by the Deputy Chief of the Kuningan Resort Police, Police Commissioner Samsul Bagja Bakhtiar, representing the Kuningan Resort Police Chief Police Grand Commissioner Adjutant Dani Arianda, when met by the media crew at the local Resort Police headquarters on Wednesday, 16 March 2022. Samsul said that the initial arrest of the vocational high school students were carried out while they were still in class. Then the students were transported using a Resort Police bus while securing as many as 12 motorbikes. During the arrest, Shamsul claimed not to have found any belongings or sharp weapons. The next news is consecutive accident involving 6 vehicles in Solo. A series of accidents occurred on Sragen Solo Road, precisely in hamlet Prampalan Krikilan Village, Masaran District, Sragen Regency, on Wednesday, 16 March 2022. The accident occurred at around 9 o'clock a.m. involving 2 trucks and 4 cars. The vehicle involved was a deer car with police number AI 1101ME, which was driven by Darsono, a resident of Suran Village, Karanganyar District, Ngawi Regency. Furthermore, a Honda CR-V car with the police number AD 88AS was driven by Wagimin, a resident of Juwok Village, Sukadono District, Sragen Regency. Then the third vehicle, namely the Toyota Innova car with license plate number AI 1563MB, which was driven by Sambudi, a resident of Pule, Mantingan District, Ngawi Regency. The fourth vehicle is a Toyota Yaris with the police number AD 9001TN, driven by SB Murtopo, a resident of Gondang Baru, Gondang District, Sragen Regency. And the fifth vehicle is a truck with license plate number L8974W, which was driven by NF Anto, a resident of Ketagen, Taman Sidoarjo. The last vehicle involved in the accident was a truck with police number AD1018UB, driven by A. Hadi at Tanjung Baru Timur, Bukit Kemuning, Lampung. The head of the law enforcement unit of the Sragen Resort Police Traffic Unit Second Police Inspector Irwan Marvianto said that initially the 6 vehicles were traveling in one direction from east to west. Before the incident, the truck in front of tried to overtake an unknown vehicle that was driving in front of it. Then there was an accident that hit the front vehicle. According to Irwan, all the drivers and passengers of the 6 vehicles managed to survive it and there were no injuries. The accident caused the car to be badly damaged both in the front and rear. The next news is, the bridge broke. Residents were forced to break through the driver carrying the coffin. The semi-permanent bridge to the tomb broke. Residents were forced to break through the driver carrying the coffin to the cemetery. The bridge is 6 meters long and 4 meters wide. The bridge was broken after being hit by floods on Tuesday, March 1, 2022. The location is in the neighborhood Taman Mutiara Indah 2, Kubang Abu Village, Trondol Village, Serang District, Serang City. According to the head of the neighborhood pillars, Nanang Kosim, said the incident occurred on Tuesday, March 15, 2022 at 2:00 p.m. and the bodies were only able to bury them at around 3:30 p.m. Residents did not know if the wooden bridge was broken, so that when carrying the bodies, they had no other choice but to pass through a 1-meter deep river and it took 1 hour. Nanang continued, if you have to turn around, the distance is quite far, which is 7 kilometers, while if you cross the bridge, it is only 2 kilometers away. The last time the bridge was completed was 2020, second independently. Nanang said that at the time he was carrying the coffin through the river alternately by 12 people. In fact, the cleric who will lead the funeral must be carried through the river. Nanang himself has coordinated with the local sub-district head to immediately repair the bridge. He hopes that the local government will immediately rebuild the bridge so that access to the public cemetery will be smooth again. And the last news is, mothers in North Jakarta chase a motorcycle thief gangs. A group of 2 motorcycle thieves was chased by women when they took action on West Rawabadak Street, North Rawabadak, Koja, North Jakarta on Wednesday, March 9, 2022. The resident who chased the gang, Nurhayati or Nur, aged 46 years old, said the 2 perpetrators were strongly suspected of being the same person behind several motorcycle theft cases in the Koja and Cilincing areas. This is known from certain characteristics worn by the perpetrators. Certain characteristics that Nur remembers best are the helmet and bag worn by the perpetrator when he stole the motorbike. On the helmet, there is a sticker with a picture that was also used by the perpetrator at the time of the incident. Likewise, the brown leather bag worn by the perpetrator is the same as what Nur saw in the case of motorbike theft in several places. Nur also had time to know that there was an incident of motorcycle theft in the Cilincing area where the culprit had pointed a firearm. Therefore, while chasing the perpetrator last Wednesday, Nur did not dare to pull the street bandits back for fear of being held at gunpoint. As recorded on CCTV belonging to residents at the scene, 2 theft perpetrators came to the alley and saw the victim motorbike parked in front of the boarding house. The 2 perpetrators, both wearing helmets and black jackets, rode on a motorbike. Then, they shared the role of one supervising from the top of motorbike, while the second perpetrator is the executor. The perpetrator, who acted as the executor, then walked slowly into the open fence of the boarding house. After making sure the situation was safe, the perpetrator immediately closed the boarding house fence and headed towards the target motorbike. In a matter of seconds, The perpetrators managed to damage the key house and snatch the motorbike. At the same time, Nur, who is none other than the boarding house manager, saw the perpetrators' action from a television screen connected to CCTV footage. Seeing the whereabouts of the two perpetrators, Nur immediately ran out of the house, opened the fence, and tried to chase the perpetrators. As a result, the Honda Beat motor belonging to the boarding house occupant disappeared. Nur added that the victim had reported this incident to the police. The police have also arrived to investigate the crime scene is in effort to investigate this motorcycle theft case. Well, that's all the news for today with me, Mutiara. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.